Hey everybody, how's it going? This is a little ramble slash update video. Firstly, I got the Blood Angel stuff in, so I'll be doing a Codex in depth soon. I'm going to talk about this more so, Blood Angel stuff in general here in a moment. Firstly, I want to talk about the little mini poll that I did, as well as the people who gave me responses for true scaling tutorials. I want to thank everybody who participated in the poll, as well as giving me true scale advice. With the true scale stuff, based on what I was sent and what I've known already as far as tutorials go, I'm going to do combined. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm going to do combined some tutorial ideas, and hopefully that'll work out well to make my own true scale Marines. So I can't do that right away though, because I gotta finish the battle wagons. They've been sitting around for too long. But I will be doing the Dark Angels true scale soon, so I'll keep you, the community, updated when I am doing that. So that's that. And now as far as the mini poll goes, it was a 3-way tie. I only got 3 responses, but that's better than nothing, so thank you for that. It was a 3-way tie between Imperial Guard, Tierners, and Space Wolves, and I picked the Imperial Guard. There we go. I'm going to be doing the Imperial Guard first. Basically, this is a fundamental video about the fundamentals of the Imperial Guard, their strengths and weaknesses, as well as some basic overall strategies and ideas to combat them that can work for pretty much any army out there. I can't go too specific, because if I do, certain armies will be left out. If I go too specific in a Space Marine sense, then the Tau may not be able to use the same ideas, and the Chaos Demons may not be able to use the same ideas, so on and so forth. So it's going to be basic that can be extrapolated on with any army. You can take pretty much the idea, and the hope is that what I say can be taken by any army and then extrapolated to fit their army's feel and help them achieve victory over said army. So first we're going to talk about defeating the Imperial Guard. So that'll be coming in a couple of days. Now, back to the Blood Angels. Got the Codex in the other day, as well as the Sanguinary Guard and a Death Company kit. I think the Codex is very well put together. I think it's about time that the Blood Angels got their feel and their fluff back. Both in their little fluffy section, as well as in their army composition. So that's very cool. I will be going over the Codex more so, obviously, in Codex in depth Blood Angels. And when I do the introduction video, I'll of course do the special rules as well as some other stuff, and probably talk about the Codex as a whole there as well. So expect to hear more about the Codex there, as well as the entire in-depth to follow. That'll come in a few days. I want to read through the Codex a bit, just so I can sound like I know what I'm talking about. And that way I pick up on some things I may miss if I do a cold run through. Some people are up in arms about the little fluff thing about the Blood Angels fighting against the High Fleet with Necron assistance. I think really people are blowing out of proportion. They were fighting each other, and then the High Fleet showed up, and they went, oh damn, essentially, because it's a fresh enemy that's going to fight both of them at the same time and try to wipe them out. So they fought against that. Instead of having a 2-front, they have a 1-front battle still. So I think they did that because it's a smarter thing to do. And then they went their separate ways because both sides were pretty much depleted and couldn't achieve victory over the other, so it would be pointless to continue the battle. I think that's what they were trying to get at, and I think just people blowing it way out of proportion, which will happen. And if you're wondering why I didn't hear about this, well then I guess your area doesn't blow things as much out of proportion as the area around me does. But some of it's just Tyranid players who are getting upset because people are ganging up on their army, and I think they should take that kind of as a show of respect, that there's such a threat that 2 very deadly armies will fight against it instead of continuing to fight each other and trying to fight it at the same time. So that's neither here nor there. That's all I want to talk about as far as that goes. You may agree or disagree, and that's fine. But I think personally it's getting blown a little bit out of proportion. It's just a little paragraph. Anyways, another thing I want to talk about quickly that you'll find out when I do the Codex in depth is that the Blood Angels, aside from having the tactical squads, assault squads, devastator squads, and whatnot, and aside from having their own unique stuff like Death Company, Furioso, Battle Predators, and Sanguinary Guard and Honor Guard, they also have Stern Guard and Vanguard veterans. And some people were just confused as to why, especially if they're new. I know some people were confused. and I'm hopefully going to try and help dispel the confusion here. The Space Wolves and the Black Templars do not follow the Codex Astartes structure. That's why they have their own unit entries, and that's why they don't have things like Stern Guard and Vanguard. Now, granted, Stern Guard and Vanguard didn't really exist when the Black Templar was around, but that's why the Space Wolves don't really have that. And the Black Templars wouldn't either, because they don't follow that structure. The Dark Angels, the Blood Angels, and the Space Marines from the Space Marine Codex all follow the Codex Astartes. Now, some of them have divergences. The Dark Angels, Deathwing and Ravenwing, are divergences from the Codex Astartes structure. But other than that, their battle companies still adhere to the doctrine of the Codex Astartes. The Blood Angels, same thing. Now, aside from having their own units, and aside from Assault Marines essentially being as prevalent as Tactical Marines for the most part, or at least in the Codex they are, but aside from having those divergences and the Death Company divergence, they also follow the Codex Astartes. And the Codex Astartes lies down tactical dogma, chapter composition, honor seals you can get, such as like the purity seals. It goes over different rewards you can get for valor and whatnot. It really goes over everything about the Space Marines, and the Blood Angels as well as the Dark Angels follow that Codex Astartes for the most part, with some divergences. So that's why they have the Vanguard and the Stern Guard squads. Should the Dark Angels ever get a new codex, they will too most likely have at the very least the Vanguard squads. Now, because they are divergent, they may not have Stern Guard because their first company is completely in Terminator armor. But so that'll be a diversion that way. But they may have Vanguard, and they may even have Stern Guard, just for battle companies, guys who haven't made it into the Deathwing and haven't made it into the Inner Circle at all. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and that's for another video entirely. So let's not talk about that here. That's why the Blood Angels have Stern Guard and Vanguard, in case anybody might have been confused and wondering why they have these on top of everything else. It's because those have now become Codex entries for people who follow the Codex Astartes. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about the Codex now. I will go over in more detail, of course, in the Codex in-depth videos that I will be doing in a few days. When I do those videos, I'm going to take down completely the Codex in-depth Blood Angels I have up already, which is for the PDF. It's obsolete, it'll just confuse people, so I'm going to just take it down. So if you see my video count drop, that's because that's the reason why. Anyways, model-wise, the Sanguinary Guard and the Death Company are both very cool plastic kits. They both have their limitations, however, as far as posability goes, but they're very customizable, and I got a lot of glare there. They're very customizable, and I think the bits they have work great for the opportunity in terms of converting up your own army, or really adding a personal touch to your Blood Angels. Now, with the Sanguinary Guard, their entire jump pack and wing scenario can be used by any Space Marine chapter, really, especially for like HQ jump packs. The reason I say that is because the Space Marines are the Emperor's Angels of Death. That's what they're billed as. That's their whole shtick. So, having angelic wings really helps portray that as I shake the camera everywhere. So they're very cool. I like them. I can't wait to put them together and paint them up for an army of my own, and I'll go over that in the appropriate video. Death Company, great bits. First off, it's about time the Death Company got plastic. And they got a lot of cool bits to really represent Death Company. You can really add some customization to them and conversion potential. That helmet right there is pretty cool as well. So, I think it's a very cool kit as well, with some conversion potential as well to... I just said as well as a lot, but a lot of conversion potential here to add a personal touch to your regular Blood Angel forces or to your own Space Marine forces, as well as making a very cool Death Company squad. So that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you weren't too bored, and until my next videos, take it easy.